So you see, the culprit has been punished. There's no
That doesn't
need for
change
this.
anything. We'll deal with it later, but right now, you're the one I'm concerned with.
You called the shots. Georgie made that perfectly clear.
In which case, you still have a lot to answer for.
I was told I would be allowed to speak.
We have to read the rest of the charges.
What other charges?
Let him speak.
Let her finish. Then you can have your say.
Got it?
If you insist.
You are charged with the murder of Faith and Lily, which Georgie carried out on your order, inciting violence against various members of the Fabletown community, including the attempted murder of Sheriff Bigby Wolf.
Twice.
A misunderstanding.
Aiding and providing monetary support for the forced prostitution
He's
at the
such a
Pudding and
sniveling
Pie.
douche.
Additionally, you are charged with multiple counts of fraud, extortion, racketeering, and the illegal possession and sale of magical
Resisting
artifacts.
arrest.
And resisting arrest.
Damn, that's the big one.
Yes. Now, is there anything you would
So,
like
like,
to say?
Mr. Wolf, you don't count. What?
He goes.
First of all, I had nothing to do with it. So you can strike that one.
I said I get to speak.
Bullshit! Like hell you didn't.
Stop the charade. We know you're
Come
involved.
on.
Let him speak.
It's
Fuck it. I want to see what he
I know you're
says.
responsible.
What? You are.
You've been behind all
You
of this
still want
from
me
the
to be right?
beginning. So cut the shit.
We all know who you are. We know what you've
Just
done.
give it up already.
The Crooked Man has committed crimes against this government and, most importantly, its citizens. These charges, if proven, are enough to justify death, upon which your body will be committed to the witching
Where
well.
it fucking belongs.
That's
So
right.
let's get
But
on
we
with it
promised
then.
you a chance to defend yourself, and I won't rob you of that right.
What the
You're
fuck?
really going
This
to
is
let him
about
talk?
justice. If we're ever going to pull ourselves together and make something of this town, we have to start doing things correctly.
The
no
American
more
way.
snap judgments, no more secrets. We are going to treat everyone fairly, even when they don't deserve it.
Because this is America.
This is ridiculous.
No, Toontown is ridiculous.
So it's cool.
You ever been there?
You have the floor.
Thank you, Miss White. You've all met Georgie. I don't have to tell you what kind of person he was. He was a
was a
total
motherfucking
scoundrel,
pimp.
lacking in any sort of moral fiber. I hired him as a favor to his family, you see. A promise kept to a dying mother.
Oh,
Are you gonna
jeez.
get to your point or what?
Georgie was working for me, yes. But he was not acting on my behalf when he killed those women. It was his business. And for whatever reason, I'm sure only he could understand, he murdered 2 of his most faithful employees. I had nothing to do with it.
Tell
This
the
is such
fucking
bullshit.
truth for
He's
once.
always been a bit of a powder keg.
Georgie seemed pretty convinced he didn't have a say in the matter.
He clearly misunderstood my intention.
Really?
I would never authorize such an act.
Any of you actually believe this bullshit?
Holly,
I kind of
please.
do.
Tell them, Bigby. When you finally showed up at my door last night, wasn't I more than helpful? I answered your questions. I was willing to cooperate.
What's he talking about?
Yeah, and your goons attacked me. Did you forget that part?
They get a bit carried away sometimes, it's true.
God.
And they do it because they want to protect me. As I protected
Is he
them.
called a crooked man because
You
his nose is
understand
fucked
wanting to
up?
protect what you care about, don't you?
Like Owen
I would say
Wilson?
he's a crooked man because he's a bad
Might
guy,
as well
but
give
tries
up
to
an
portray
innocent
himself as a
man.
good guy.
You have a
Just
good
to
point.
save someone.
I believe him.
What's he talking about?
I think you're done talking.
What are you afraid of? Why not let an old man say his piece? Let me explain this to you. My employees are just that, hired help. I see some of them are here among you. They are not my slaves. They are all free to make their own decisions, as Georgie was.
What about Lily? She wasn't free. She wasn't given a choice. Do you really think she wanted... that any of those girls wanted their lives like that?
I'm sorry, Holly. I'm sorry that your sister asked me for help, and I'm sorry that I decided against my better judgment to give her a distasteful job.
Right, and you kept them in debt so they couldn't leave.
Yeah. That's what you did to us. How you kept us all
You
in
forget
line.
it was not me who put you in that position. You all act like I'm some kind of tyrant.
It's true, he's not.
When your government abandoned you, left you poor and helpless, sniveling on street corners, I was there to look out for you.
Yes.
Oh,
but
shucks, I
wasn't I?
think you're right.
Yep.
We've had our problems and we've made mistakes, but We don't actively exploit people to serve our own ends.
Really?
Uh-oh.
What about Auntie Greenleaf? Her story.
I think
is
they're
not
just banned
uncommon.
now at this
She
point.
left everything she
It's
had
asking about
back in
the
the
banner
homelands. Everything that mattered, anyway. With nowhere else to turn, she came to me for help. And what did I do for you?
You got my tree back.
I got her tree back, and in turn we used her magic to help poor Fables get glamours.
I like this guy.
Because I helped her,
That means
she
you have
was
to kill
able to
him.
make a living, provide for herself. And what did they do?
For the longest time, not much. But they asked me to come work for them.
Really? The new deputy mayor wants you on the 13th floor?
No. The wolf offered me the job. She wanted my tree destroyed. If she had her way, I'd be hung out to dry on a clothesline by now.
What?
You were gonna burn her tree? Snow, why would you want that?
Yeah, keep quiet, keep quiet, keep quiet.
Snow?
Damn,
She was
Emar!
helping people glamour themselves as other fables. We couldn't let that continue.
Hey, she was being a raging
her
bitch at the
fault.
You
time.
can lie to yourself, but you can't lie to me. You hated Crane, and you hated him for wanting to fuck you, and you being too soft to notice what he'd do to get it. It had nothing to do with a crooked man.
I like where this
We've
is
made
going.
some mistakes. I've
You just like
made
chaos,
some
Doug.
mistakes. And believe me, I truly want what's best for this town.
No, you
And
fucked up,
that
just
may
like
not always
Obama.
be clear right away, but I want you all to know that I care deeply about all of you. And so does the sheriff.
Yeah, right.
I can't promise you perfection. No one can.
Yeah, stay quiet.
But I can promise to
No, we're
always
trying to
have your
protect
best
you.
Nah,
interests
she's
at
doing all
heart.
the talking.
Like you did with her?
Mm-mm.
Which is why the crooked man
See
must
that
be
look?
punished for his crimes.
Dude,
The crooked man's been exploiting.
it is.
Exploiting your hope for a better life. You would go to him for help, and he would take that weakness and add it to his strength.
We're
And if
ending
things
that.
didn't fall exactly his way, someone would die. And I'm just sorry.
She
it took us
looked
this
for
long
you
to
for
realize
help.
what he'd been doing.
Man, you are hanging her out to dry.
Hey, dude, I brought him to court. That was my
You're
job.
all still afraid of him,
Right?
even now.
She never said anything about being a lawyer.
But you needn't be. His contamination of this town.
Wait, I don't
is
like where this is
over.
going. Everybody's siding with
And
her
those
now.
girls will have their justice.
Fuck, Emar, you should have said something.
Dude, it's the truth.
Very good, very good.
He's like, "Now I got
Sentiment is
you
surely
right where I want you."
appreciated, Miss Watson. It doesn't
Man,
disguise the
wave.
fact that these accusations are completely unfounded. The sheriff simply doesn't have a particle of evidence linking me to the
Georgie was working for you. Bigby got a
A
confession that...
confession that nobody heard. Now, I'm no barrister, but I think such a statement would carry more weight if Bigby weren't the only one to whom Georgie spoke. Especially given Bigby's history.
What are you talking about?
What about your history,
Snow?
motherfucker?
So, are we done?
You won't be able to talk your way out of this, crooked man.
What do you mean there's no evidence?
Maybe he's... I mean, this doesn't feel right, how we're doing this. I just
Of
need...
course it's right. This man tormented all of you for profit. Georgie
Let me
killed
just
him.
make sure I understand you. You're trying to say that I'm responsible for what Georgie did, because he was working for me at the time, yes?
Yes.
Of course. Yes, you're responsible.
What about Ichabod Crane?
Well, by that logic, Miss White should be on trial for Tweedledum's murder. Since you know Bigby works for her.
Ooh,
That's-
shit.
He killed a man.
That was self-defense.
Don't make him a murderer.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
For fuck's sake, killing someone who's trying to kill you is
They were
hardly...
there to retrieve Crane. You didn't need to escalate things.
Me! It was them! And who sent those two freaks anyway?
Bigby and I have already discussed his behavior that night. We're handling it
Now, where have I
internally.
heard that before? How about the way he treated poor Tweedledee when he was in your custody? He was beaten to mashed apples while under your watch.
Under my watch.
Maybe he's right.
Did you think we'd all just let that go?
You can't be serious.
That was different.
He was a murder
Snow
suspect.
had nothing to do with it. We all thought she was dead.
Besides, Crane was still deputy mayor when that happened. Right before you decided to kidnap him.
It was for his own protection. Oh, you're right, dear. Crane was in charge. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference.
That's enough.
So, you won't answer for your employees' behavior, but I must perish for mine.
This is completely different.
I did not order those two girls dead. It simply never happened. Georgie killed Faith and Lily. End of story. They want to scapegoat me for their own tangled ends, but they refuse to answer for their own crimes.
This isn't right.
Oh, please.
This isn't the point.
We'll deal with them after we deal with you.
Listen, I know.
Laws apply when we need them to.
Bluebeard, please.
Everyone calm down. This isn't
I
the
mean, a
reason we're
certain level
here.
of privilege should be afforded to
who?
This is how it's always been.
This is what I'm talking about. We lashed
Dude,
our
I'm
ropes
fucking
to this diseased world.
Renderman! What's up,
Hey,
motherfucker?
Render.
What's going on, Render?
Who filled your lives with the promise of more? Who was there while they idly played in their towers, judging you, treating you as mindless children, too stupid to command your own destiny? Without me, who will pay your rent when you're on the verge of eviction? Who will dare challenge their brutality when it leaks to our dear citizens? Who will protect you from the big bad wolf? Who will be the...
Bigby! Miss White!
Excuse
Oh yeah,
me.
Ariel's still alive.
I wanted to make sure I had the chance to say something.
Why don't you take a moment to catch your breath?
What's she doing here?
I'd like to... I need to say something.
We're kind of in
I killed everyone.
Of course. Go right ahead.
And it's just like, you'll never
probably
get me,
don't
Copper.
remember
And she
me.
takes off her ribbon.
I don't know why I was afraid to come
My
here.
dear, I don't
Just
know what
shut up. You enslaved us for years. Let us hear stories about what you do. Told us we would lose everything if we stepped just one toe out of line. And we couldn't say a word about it because of these damn ribbons. But you know what? Now it's my turn to talk.
How are you?
I found Vivian's body. Did you kill her? Did he?
Sheriff, this is highly irregular.
Be
She killed
quiet.
herself.
We need to establish some order here.
Vivian killed herself back at the Pudding and Pie.
I'm sorry, I don't think
Nerissa! My name is Nerissa.
It's okay, my dear. It's going to be just...
He ordered them dead. This fucker. Faith and Lily.
That's a lie.
I was in the goddamn room when he did it. Faith and Lily are dead because of you.
This confirms
the
it.
only two people who ever gave a damn about me. And now I can finally say,
Fuck
asshole.
you.
And I hope you rot at the bottom of the witching well for what you did.
And this just confirms it.
He made Georgie do it. It was always him.
You're on the...
Georgie
you're
would
with
have
the
never
winning
done
crowd.
anything without his say-so.
You could be on the losing
Ever.
side.
You're going to take no...
How the
funny.
fuck?
At least 5 other girls will back me
Oh,
up
we've
on
been
this.
doing alright.
We all heard
Renderman,
you
how
say
you
it.
been? Y'all been doing alright?
Did you know?
Renderman ass?
I mean,
like
I'm
we
pretty
found
tired.
our
But
Yeah, he's alright.
She saw it first.
He's guilty.
it's like, well,
Enough for me?
Like, I got this thing on my fucking leg. I think it's my
that's
bone
it.
sticking out.
on my way in, a dog bit me on
No,
the leg.
that's too fucking easy for a crook like that.
What do you mean?
He's gotta pay for what he did.
Listen to yourselves!
You're all rats. Fleeing
You been doing
from
alright,
one
Renderman?
sinking
Glad you
ship
can make
to
it
the
tonight.
next. So quick to latch
shit
onto
just
whatever
got
will keep
real
your miserable
deep.
lives afloat. This is how you want to
Wishing
repay
well
all
deep.
I've done for you.
What, you take 2 people's lives away and now you want mercy?
You know we can't let you go free after
I
this.
could rip
I could
you.
always rip your arms off first. Would you enjoy that?
Well done, then.
Now, for your sentence.
We
That's
don't
why you
have
shut
to
a
become
motherfucker
murderers.
up.
What are you talking about?
He's guilty.
Your day was
I know that, but
interesting?
we
How
don't have
so,
to
my
kill
friend?
anybody.
Yes,
We can
explain.
imprison him. Lock him up forever. Somewhere
Did you
he
find
can
out
never
what came
hurt
first,
anyone
chicken or the
again.
egg?
How can we be sure he won't escape?
I can help. We'll use magic.
I don't trust her.
assure
Not good
you.
enough.
Maybe
There will
she
be
has a
more
point.
if he isn't
Hasn't
stopped.
there been
I
enough
don't give a
bloodshed
shit.
So we
already?
get rid
It's
of
too
him.
dangerous.
Get him out of
We
here.
can send him
Everyone,
away.
listen up! Clearly,
rip his
we're
head off.
having trouble agreeing on a suitable
You had to go
punishment.
to the
So I
ER.
think we
What you do?
going
Did somebody have to hold your
Someone
beer?
needs to make a decision.
Who?
I hope you aren't
Hopefully
suggesting
nothing serious.
yourself.
If so,
Should have a
I
vote.
withdraw that
Make
comment.
it democratic.
Do you really think that's going to work?
He's right. Nobody can agree on anything.
What about Bigby?
What about him?
He was appointed. He's the only official representative, really. He should